Welcome to day 235 of TFIF 365. And today, it's going to be a bit of a riff. I don't know what's going to happen. I've been very emotional. I've been very processing a lot of things. And normally I would, like the things I normally process with you are, like, I hate the phrase thought experiment, but it is me thinking about something and processing that and coming here because I'm an external processor. But what I'm processing is full of emotion, full of disappointment. So yesterday, it did not dawn on me till later why I was, my message yesterday was I wasn't feeling 100%. And it wasn't until I was having a conversation with one of my daughters last night that the one who I can really talk to about these things, she used to be my assistant, so she really understands my work. She really understands my process. She really understands the impact of the work that I do. And I was just talking about just disappointment and I don't want to say regret because there is no regret. It's the regret I have is that others don't see the value in what folks like me are doing until the house is on fire and people are dead inside. And so it wasn't until yesterday when I was talking to her about that I realized that it was a 10-year anniversary of my dad making his transition. And this whole year, I started this year by saying how big 2014 was for me. My whole life changed in so many ways. I was not doing this work in 2014 at all. I was not having these conversations. I was still an educator, miserable, not satisfied in my career, wanting to do more, wanting to extend myself more, wanting to be bigger, not for ego or I'll just say that, not for ego, but because I wanted to make an impact. I saw the impact I was making in the classroom, and I wanted to make a bigger impact. I wanted to share it with more people. I wanted to try to scale how I've been able to help people heal. I guess it's healing work. It's healing work. It's creative, but it's healing work. And so my life completely changed in 2014. And yesterday I found myself having to come to terms with the fact that my business is failing and how based on the metrics that I would use when I'm evaluating businesses, financially, it's failing. And that means that I have to make some tough decisions, because I'm not a person who can work for anybody else, nor do I want to, because my life is fully immersed in supremacy-free, coercion-free, discrimination-free, and exploitation-free. And not many companies are able to embrace that right now. So if I went into a job situation, no one would be happy. I wouldn't be happy, and the people who employ me would not be happy. And so I recognized, and I knew very early on that for me to have the liberty that I needed and the ability to not have to code switch, not have to do those things that most professional Black women have to do by default, even if it's not in the job description, it's those other duties as assigned. I knew then. And what's so frustrating and disappointing is I hear every day, I see every day the need for work that myself and other people are doing. And people are screaming for it, people are asking for it, and yet they don't know how to break out of the matrix or the bubble to engage with someone like me, because again, what I'm doing is not an ABC formula. So I'm kind of rambling here. I don't know where I'm going. I'm trying to manage my emotions, not because I have a problem with crying or feeling my emotions, but what I am practicing is trying to understand the meaning behind those emotions. Again, I tell you all the time, I'm not putting space between my triggers and my response. But what is so disheartening is trying to do work for the collective good, but being unable to take care of yourself. It's like, why is there a why can't I do both? Why are unethical business operators able to succeed where the people like myself who are so wanting to create professional environments that are rooted in welcoming and psychological safety, rooted in prioritizing the most vulnerable, rooted in minimizing harm, rooted in creating risk and crisis management strategies that will allow businesses, organizations to reckon with the mistakes they made, make amends, and rebuild their reputations and come back better. And I find myself at a point where in the past I would have said, okay, well, I guess that means I got to do something else. But I've gotten to a point in my life where there is nothing else for me. And that's what the frustration is. There is no pivot for me. This is my work. And I have yet to find a way to be sustainable long term without chaos. People will pay me when shit's hitting the fan. 2020 was my best year because of, and it's so unfortunate, because of George Floyd and white people's guilt. That was 4 years ago. People ask, I'm not going to make this just about me, ask people like me to create experiences for them. And when we come out with them, they're less than enthusiastic to embrace those. So I guess I just been feeling with, again, realize, dealing with the fact that my dad's been gone. That was the person whose opinion could either lift me up at the highest or put me in the ground at the lowest. His opinion meant everything to me. And even in that, him dying bought me my freedom and my liberty, because I didn't have that voice in my head that as much as he loved me, he did not know how to love the free, the liberated Kim in the way I needed to, because it's scary loving a person like me when everything I do is challenging the status quo, right? You're always on edge because you don't know what has to happen to protect me. And in Black communities, it was to tamp down people like me, to shh, be quiet. They're going to start looking at you. And I guess that's it. I decided to put the spotlight on myself. And yeah, I don't know what it, yeah. My life is just, and I wouldn't change a thing. And that's the thing. That's what gets me, because there's nowhere for me to run, because I wouldn't change a thing. I would continue doing this work. I would just rather not have to be in poverty to do this work. I would rather people who y'all say uplift y'all, who make you feel great about the future, that you paid us as well as you paid those people who entertained you. But yeah, so that's what I'm dealing with. It's a lot of loss. I'm just dealing with a lot of loss. And just dealing with a lot of loss. So until tomorrow, peace. Become a sustaining sponsor at kimcreighton.com/support-the-work and help make this work happen.